Hey, welcome everyone. So this is Tamal Mukherjee on behalf of Literoma, and I welcome you all to this virtual launch of Coffee Table book by Literoma. So this is going to be first of its kind. So from a history standpoint, if you look at the history of Coffee Table book, the concept came actually almost 500 years back, almost 475 years back. And the idea of a coffee table book is actually to trigger some conversation when people are having coffee, as simple as that. And this is something which was there almost all the way through the history, as I was mentioning. But we never felt the requirement of it till the last year when someone told that this is a cafe generation which is not into reading. Why don't you try and do something which will inculcate this habit of reading amongst this cafe generation? So we thought, hey, actually, we have a lot of write-ups. We have a lot of talented writers like Anupama, who is here with us in this virtual launch of Coffee Table book. And if we can collate those write-ups, some selected few, to come up with the first Coffee Table book, and if we can place it amongst all the cafes, lovely cafes which are there across the country and maybe moving ahead outside the country as well, that is going to serve exactly this purpose of triggering meaningful conversation based on the topics, based on the write-ups which will be there. So that's how the concept of Coffee Table book by Literoma came out, and we are so thankful to writers like Anupama, who has been a brilliant family member of Literoma. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad that the virtual book launch begins with conversation with you only. So over to you, Anupama, for a few words.
Thank you so much, firstly, Namal, for those kind words. And I think there's nothing better for a writer than to be called a family member of a platform that we've been working with, because it shows that, writing, I think, is one profession which thrives so much on community. And it's always been a pleasure to be a part of the Literoma family. We've done a lot of collaborations, and I'm sure we'll be doing a lot more in the future. And since you already spoke about the coffee table book concept, I must say that I've been published in a lot of, say, books and anthologies at a lot of platforms. So this is my first coffee table book publishing, I would say. I don't think any of my write-up has been published in a coffee table book before. So for me also, this was a very exciting concept when I came across, your first poster about it. So I was really looking forward to it, because I feel, as you said, that this is a great way to reach out to the youth, to the people today who, they go out to a cafe, they're having fun, they're talking, and then they see this book, they read it, and some conversations get triggered. And I think that is really beautiful. So I think it's a great effort. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more people, I think, taking a leaf out of Literoma's book, because sort of we don't get these kind of projects often these days. So firstly, congratulations to Literoma, I would say, for this fabulous initiative. And it's I remember when I was thinking of what I should be submitting for the coffee table book, I instantly felt that, I wanted to be a poem. I was very clear, because I'm anyway a bit biased towards the poetry format. But at the same time, I didn't want it to be very intense, because I felt that it's a coffee table book, and I want to keep it a little light. But at the same time, yes, it's also important that, there's some messaging, there is some, so then my poem is all about a metaphor. I use the metaphor of kites to convey something more profound about life, about how often we feel that we are in control of things, whereas actually, all the freedom that we feel or anything that we are doing, ultimately, it is somebody else actually who's controlling things, and beyond a point, things are not in our hands. So I just used kite as a metaphor to convey that, and I thoroughly enjoyed writing that poem. And rest, of course, when people read it, they'll know more what it is about. But yeah, that's about it. And like I said, I'm really also waiting for the response of the people to this book. So I can't wait for the actual launch, and for the readers to give their feedback. So thank you so much once again, and all the best. And to everybody who's watching, please do get your copy of the book, or you can visit the cafes where this book is going to be available, and do let us know what you feel about it.
Okay, thank you so much, Anupama. And I think definitely the poem that you had written, that is going to strike a conversation, comparing it with the concept of kite runner as well, because ultimately you had
Yes,
also used that metaphor. So it is going
yes.
to strike a few meaningful conversation. And technically,
And I'm a fan of
yeah.
that book. So now that you mention, yes, yeah, that that association did
Awesome,
trigger
awesome.
it.
And I'm sure that that is going to draw a lot of meaningful conversation amongst the people who will be sipping coffee and flipping through the book. So
Yes.
talking about that book, Anupama, thanks for mentioning about it. So here is the book. I just wanted to show it here
Yay.
as well. So this is how it
It
looks.
looks amazing.
So it has already reached a set of cafes in Kolkata. It's also in transition to multiple cities as well. We'll be soon
Fantastic.
reviewing the entire list on a rolling basis as soon as we keep placing it these cafes. Tomorrow, actually, we'll be also unveiling the names of all the cafes where we had placed it in Kolkata. So that will be officially done tomorrow. And definitely, all of you who will be watching this, do let us know if you are in you have some tie-up or you know some cafe where this kind of books can be placed. We'll be more than happy to explore those opportunities as well, because this is a
Yes.
very new concept that we have come up with. So feel free to reach out to us and let us know that, hey, there is this cafe which you may not be aware of,
Right.
but
Right.
that is where the reading culture is also great. So please go ahead and place it here. We'll love to do that. We'll do the formalities, we'll sign the agreement and all, and we'll get into that. So this is a request from our end as well. And thank you, Anupama, for such a lovely contribution and for always being there with Literoma. We can't thank you more. And definitely, as you mentioned, so we truly mean it when we say it, that you have become more of a family member of the Literoma family. Thank you so much. Stay with us and keep spreading the words of this coffee table book.
Yes, absolutely.